We had the whole kind of back office was buzzing, and Doogie was right in the middle of all of it, right? And
Doogie was taking shrapnel.
Doogie, yeah, he got hit with a couple of shrapnel shots, but
he loves getting engaged in some of the combos. I got to admit, Doogie knows his stuff.
Full of hot takes. Full of hot takes.
Doogie does know his stuff, and he does have a lot of takes. And
when Benyama MVP and Jake Sanderson, which you think won't happen, Norris.
Yes, so that was a take that came off the air that we're bringing on the air. I think the Wembanyama one we'll get to momentarily. Jake Sanderson winning the Norris or nominated for the Norris?
Nominated.
That's your take.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Top
it's an
five,
outrageous
top five,
overreaction.
Right?
So it is nominated at that.
No, nominated means top 3. You're in the building. You have a suit on,
yeah,
and you're in the building.
Asking. I'm looking for clarification.
Clarification. Nomination is top 3.
I don't think it's crazy to think that kid, if he just keeps trucking, and every single night people are like, Jake Sanderson, Jake Sanderson, Jake Sanderson. Because that's how it happens. That's how it happened with Fox. Fox was a relatively just kind of the young guy, and he could handle a puck. Then all of a sudden, everyone's like, man, this Fox guy, he's really good. Maybe he should win the Norris. And then you know what happened?
He won
Foxy
the Norris.
won the Norris.
Yes, he did.
You have to back it up with 2 things. Obviously, a mountain of points and momentum, but your team has to be good. So that's that's.
And Ottawa looks very good.
They look good.
They looked great last night.
They looked great last night. They deserve to win. Washington looked old and slow.
You might have been right about Washington.
Oh, but listen,
Ovi's
that's 2 games. Like I thought Ovi had a pretty good chance there in front, and then Carlson ended up scoring. Like I think he'll be fine. I still think Ovi gets close to 40 goals. I personally think.
Well, Ovechkin did something last night that he has never done in his career.
I saw that stat.
2 games in a row without a shot on goal. He had 4 shot attempts, but that has not happened at any point in his career, which is an incredible statistic. If you include regular season and playoffs, it's 1,496 games in a row.
Wow.
Where he made sure he followed up a bagel with, I'll bet you, 7 shots on goal, 10 shots on goal.
12, yeah.
And you mentioned the Carlson play. I thought that was an awkward fall forward. Like it was like, what is going on with Alex Ovechkin? He's still scoring 30.
Right.
I don't know if he's touching up on 40. I really don't, because he looked slow to me, and he has great starts. Yeah. Like usually he's 4 games in, he's got 6 goals, and you're like, this guy is cooking.
Yeah.
And that team is just not a very good team. Washington is
players,
not,
but they're not good.
They've got old players.
Yeah, but I mean,
like Kuznetsov's not young, and Ovi's not young.
But I don't think you can just say what you saw last night, and it hasn't been a very good start for
You know what I mean, though, the Ovechkin fall? Like,
Dude,
he
I know.
fell forward
It looked
into
like
a
your
guy.
uncle at a Christmas game.
It was awkward.
It looked like your uncle at a Christmas game taking it to the hole, and he fell into his your aunt,
and then Carlson scored, and he goes like this. I'm like, man, that was strange.
It had a weird look to it, and but I don't, because you said they weren't going to make the playoffs, and I'm looking at the players. It's like Backstrom's coming back, and Kuznetsov, whether you say he's old or not.
Wilson, you got
Wilson. It's like
Oshie. They've got good players there. You're
but
right.
As of right now, they are what they are, and they have to prove that they're not that, because if they're that, they're going to have a long one.
I think they're in the Pittsburgh boat. I think they're in the same boat as Pittsburgh.
But both missed the playoffs last year.
Agreed. And both trying to make retribution for last year. What they've done is going back with the same core, the same guys. Washington hoping for health because they do have more players available to them this year. Pittsburgh looking for more depth because that's what Dubas did, is added some depth to the bottom 6.
And that game last night in Detroit, all of Twitter was like, look at this, Malkin's back in action. He's got Riley Smith with him, and then it was like 4-1 Wings.
Yeah, Detroit took off.
Ended up, 5-3? I was watching that game, but it's, Malkin's got a bunch of points. I think he's got 7 points.
He's put up a lot of points.
But Pittsburgh lost, and that's the Detroit, Ottawa. We'll see if Buffalo got to win the other night against Tampa. Those teams are the teams that are trying to take points off the teams that made the playoffs last year.
Right.
And that's where we'll see how this unfolds, because Detroit got a couple wins. And this DeBrincat's all of a sudden found a scoring
He's happy, isn't he? He loves being down there.
Loves being in the hometown.
And if you're in Ottawa, you're like, all right, we've moved on.
Yeah,
It's all good.
Tarasenko
Like there's
scored.
no need to like. That's what's kind of crazy is if DeBrincat was still there. I don't know how all the money would have worked. Tarasenko wouldn't be obviously if DeBrincat was still there. Tarasenko wouldn't be. And you mentioned that Tarasenko. I think he had 2 points last night.
Yeah.
But Jake Sanderson looks great. Like I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying pump the brakes. I know
Well,
you're
I
always
know.
calling me a hater, suggesting the guy's not going to be top 3 for the Norris.
A tour.
A lot. I can hate on certain things. I'm not hating on this kid at all. And listen, stop playing that. Pierre Dorian hitting on Stützle and Sanderson in the same draft,
and
Greg later in the first round.
Yes,
is a remarkable draft. Remarkable,
Dude,
and Ottawa looks good, but Ottawa hasn't played great competition yet. Either. Let's point that out. They beat Tampa at home, but Philly and Washington.
I'm not going.
Doesn't really register.
I'm not going there yet, but. Your comment, this is why I'm trying to preface it. You said, let's take a look at this team 20 games in, because this is what we need to do is we're 4 games in. Like, let's
early.
Let's breathe.
Very early.
I like what I see on some things. Other things I don't like what I see with other teams where you are. Okay, yeah, Ovi fell down like your uncle at a Christmas party or whatever.
It was like when Brett the Hitman Hart came back that last time.
All you little kids, watch this play, and you just wipes out in front of the net.
I'm a believer in Ovi. I'm giving him the longest lead. This is the greatest goal scorer
of all time
in the history of the game.
Of all time.
I'm fine with the slow start.
And adjusted era, he's already got the record.
Well, yeah,
right?
according to
adjusted era and
Bulldog's
expected
buddies.
and all that kind of stuff. It's already been established.
I didn't love Washington's game. I thought Ottawa's game looked great last night.